following that path, how do we find? So now we've accepted. We've accepted that we're telling ourselves lies. We're coming to terms with these. How do you find clarity on that thing, that one thing that you're meant to do? Because that is, if I even start to think about it, if I even start to say, oh, I don't like my job, or, I don't like my relationship, that's fine. I can understand that, and I could be realistic with myself about that. But then I think about the massive amount of things that I could do in instead of the job, or
Okay.
all of that. That's so vast.
Yeah, you're talking a bit about the theme around purpose now, in terms of
Well, now you
what
have
I
to
do with
find
my
your
life.
purpose. You can't leave
What do I
people
do
here.
with
They're going to be stressed out. They're going to be like,
my Don't leave me in
yeah,
the free fall.
yeah.
Okay, so I have a perspective around this. So I'm gonna start. Okay, I'm gonna start a bit from the macro, and then I'm going to get very, very, very specific for people that will give them actionable things to what in terms of what to do. So I'm going to start saying, first off, stop seeking your purpose. Stop seeking your purpose. The drive to find your purpose is actually taking you further away from trying to find your purpose. And many times the ego, who we think ourselves to be, our perceived sense of self and conditioned self that we attach to, the ego's job is to reinforce its existence. And so one of the ways the ego reinforces its existence is to seek and seek and seek and seek and seek and seek and seek, gotta find my purpose, seek it, and never find. And so there's a part inside of us that really doesn't want to find our purpose. Because if I don't find my purpose, I don't have to live my purpose. And the process of seeking continues. And so I say, stop trying to find your purpose. On a spiritual level, number one, recognize that you are a soul. You are a soul that incarnates into this human experience. Your soul has incarnated and you're a soul having a human experience. You may have heard that before, your soul having a human experience. And in this human experience, you incarnate into this human experience in order to learn, to grow, to evolve. So to me, start seeing life. Life itself is a school. Life is an evolutionary school for the growth and evolution of your soul. Life is a school for the evolution of your soul. And as a result, then, every situation, every experience, every relationship, everything you go through is part of the curriculum for your soul's evolution, so that you can realize more of who you really are, and so that you can learn those lessons and grow and come into your most authentic self. And if you start seeing yourself as a soul and understanding that, if I'm a soul and I'm here to grow, then the real purpose, the real ultimate purpose of life is to learn the lessons, to grow, to evolve, and become your authentic self, and remember who you truly are beyond your programmed, conditioned self, to remember your essence, to remember your divinity, to remember that infinite spark, to remember your true potential and power. If that's the purpose of life, then your purpose isn't what you do. Your purpose is the degree to which you are learning and growing, no matter what you're doing. You can be living your ultimate purpose, whether you're trash collector, a Formula One race car driver, a podcaster, a stay-at-home mom, an author, an engineer, an electrician, working a barista, working in Starbucks. That's what you do. You are not what you do. Your purpose on a deep spiritual level is about evolution. And any moment, regardless of what you do, any moment, you can be living your purpose, so long as you're growing and evolving and learning and asking yourself, what is my soul seeking to learn in this experience? What is my soul seeking to understand in this situation? Why did my soul attract this situation? Why did my soul attract this boss? What is the classroom that I'm in right now in this experience? And I think when we do that, we are growing. When we do that, we are living the true purpose. And when we do that, when we learn those lessons, we begin to transcend the experience, and we start attracting new experiences to us. So your purpose can be lived every moment that you're growing, learning, and evolving. That's the bigger level. Now, on a human level, which is connected to your question, but I wanted to set a bigger context to connect it to, because I think we live on different levels as souls and human beings. On a human level, stop seeking your purpose. Instead, so now what the hell do I do? Okay, you can sit there and just try and figure out your purpose from the sidelines, but life doesn't work that way. That is can be another strategy of the ego to avoid. Instead, move in the direction. If you're like, I don't know, okay, fair enough, but don't just sit there. Move in the direction of what lights you up. Move in the direction of what turns you on. Move in the direction of what sets your soul on fire. Move in the direction of what brings you joy. Just move in the direction. You don't have to know where it's going to end up. You don't have to know where you're going to get to exactly where you need to be, because there's an intelligence inside of your soul that knows. It knows. So just go in the direction of like, I feel joy here. I feel aliveness here. I don't know where this is going to lead me. I don't even know how I'm going to make money yet, but at least start navigate rather than just sitting and going, I don't know. And then 10 years go by, go in the direction, start moving in the direction. You start moving in the direction of what makes you most alive. The aliveness is a sign. The aliveness is a navigation. The aliveness is a radar that pulls you. So as you start going in the direction, take a step. You take a step, then what you'll find is life reveals to you another step. You take another step, you lean in, life reveals to you another step. You lean in, life reveals to you another step. And often your purpose gets revealed to you in the process of taking a step and living life itself. What will often happen is 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 5 years from now, 3 years from now, you look around and you're like, holy moly, I lived into my purpose. I could not have planned this purpose, but I lived into it. But you lived into it because you weren't on the sidelines trying to figure it out. Because the journey that you go on, you take a step. The journey that you go on in that big step, as you take that step, you grow. As you take that step, you evolve. As you take that step, you expand. As you take that step, your consciousness shifts. And as you learn, grow, and evolve, you become more ripened. You become more ready for the next step. Stop trying to figure out your purpose from the sidelines. You take the step. And then I would say, question number 1. Okay, what do I love? What turns me on? What brings me joy? Move in that direction. For me as a kid, we lived behind my father's church. We didn't have a lot of money. We lived behind my father's church. My bedroom was so small, you could barely put a one single person bed in it and walk in the room. I had all of these big dreams. So as a kid, I would sneak inside my father's church in the middle of the night, 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., and every day, I often don't talk about this, but every day, imagine this kid, 11, 12-year-old kid, I would speak to the empty chairs. I would give seminars for 2 hours a night, an hour a night. I would give seminars to the empty chairs, imagining I was inspiring people from around the world. I was inspiring people in the US for free. For me, that's what lit me up. That's what turned me on. That's what brought me joy. I would do that for free. I've done it for free. I get paid now, but it didn't matter. And so when you find that joy, go in that direction. You don't have to know the how. So what turns me on? What sets me on fire? What do I love? Number 2, but that's not enough. You have to ask yourself, let's make it more practical. What specific skills do I have? What specific, like I love Formula One racing. Okay. This is I love it. But I'm never going to be Lewis Hamilton in this lifetime. It's not going to happen. The dude has been doing that stuff he's 37 years old since he was like 3. Okay. And so it takes a level of actual competence and skill to be able to perform. That's a reality. But if we look in our lives, so many people say to me, I don't know what skills I have. Just look at your life. Look at every shitty job you've been through. Sometimes the jobs that you need to work in, sometimes the jobs that present themselves to you, they're not your purpose. But sometimes you're put there because there's a necessary skill that you're meant to learn in that job. And you're going to need that piece of the puzzle, that skill, to be able to be the person who's able to then fully fulfill your purpose. And so I always tell people, when you're working a job, even if you hate it, do it with ultimate excellence. When you do that job with excellence, then you're able to extract the skill. You become more, but you're able to extract the skill that gives you part of the ingredient to prepare you for your purpose. So look at all of the jobs, all of the situations, all of the experiences, all of the traumas, all of the breakups, all of the failures that you've been through. And look at what specific tangible skills that you learned. Those skills are going to be a part of your purpose and can point you in the direction of perhaps what you're meant to do lies. Number 3, What unique gifts do you have that you're able to solve a unique problem? Another way of asking that is, what is the unique problem that you're able to solve? I always tell people, when you think of what to do, don't simply focus on how do I make the most money. You might make money, but often you'll be miserable. And if you're miserable, you'll sabotage it. If you're miserable, it won't sustain. I work with so many people, one-on-one, in groups, small groups, large groups, billionaires that have made so much money, but they don't feel any purpose, they don't feel any connection, and they end up sabotaging what they've created, or they end up not having the motivation to continue. So I always tell people, don't focus on money. Instead, realize that money is a byproduct of adding value. And when you add value by solving someone's pain, someone's problem, or someone's challenge. And so when you're able to then ask yourself in question number 3, what is the pain, problem, or challenge that I'm uniquely able to solve based on my gifts, based on my skills? Because when you solve someone's pain, problem, or challenge, you're being of true service, and money is just a byproduct of being of service. Number 4, I would invite people to really think about, on a practical level, which group of people do I feel a connection to? Which group of people do I feel an affinity to? Maybe you feel a connection to the teenage pregnant girls. Maybe you feel a connection to the physically challenged. Maybe you feel a connection to the elderly. Maybe you feel a connection to, fill in the blank, the whales. Maybe whoever you feel a connection to, the group of souls, people that you feel a connection to, will often also might point you in the direction of where your service and where your purpose, or what you're meant to do and where you're meant to share your gifts, where that lies. You don't have to know where you're going to end up, but that can start giving you a directional navigation in terms of where to go. And don't wait. Look at Oprah. There's no way Oprah could have planned her life. Yeah, I'm going to plan at this age, this is going to happen. And by the time I'm 30, 40, 50 years old, 60 years old, I'm going to be the most powerful media mogul woman in the world. You can't plan, billionaire, you can't plan that. But she loved communication. She loved communication. She didn't sit on the sideline until she was a billionaire. She loved communication. So she became a newscaster. As she became a newscaster, she had too much compassion, so she would cry while reading the news. This wasn't a good thing to do, and so they fired her. They gave her a job. I think it was on a talk show in Baltimore. It might not be Baltimore, but I think it was Baltimore, on a single station. Now her compassion and her sensitivity was able to be married with her love for communication, and the more compassionate she was for people, the more successful her show became. Boom, syndication. Boom, #1 show. Boom. 25 years later, Oprah. Look at Obama. I mean, how does Obama, love him or hate him, is irrelevant to me, but look at Obama. How does this guy at age 19 go, yeah, I'm going to be president of the United States? But he started somewhere, and that led him. And so I really believe that if you follow your soul, follow the nudging. It doesn't always have to make sense. If you follow that nudging of your soul has an intelligence, it will guide you, and that's when you will often end up. Where you will often end up when you allow your soul to guide you will be beyond what your mind can manufacture and create on its own.